Ever wondered why we lose curiosity?
We stop
Let's
being
dive into
curious
life's trade-offs and priorities.
when they get older. Like we lose that childhood, like curiosity.
Um, I think I think we at some point start. That's where the how much time do you have, right? I think after you go to school, you graduate high school and it's kind of training you for a job. You show up early. You're there for around 8 hours. You start realizing that you only have so much time to do stuff. And I think a lot of it is that we don't have as much time that we would like to actually learn something. Um, that's why I encourage my employees that we will even pay them to educate themselves. Because if you don't, if you don't reward people getting certifications, if you don't reward people continuing their education, getting a master's degree or a new level, certificate or stamp as an engineer, whatever it is, then they'll just come in, clock out, and they go home, and they want to cook dinner, and they want to chill with their, I want to spend a little time with your wife, whatever it is, right? And there's just no time. And you prioritize things. At that point, you go, hey, hanging out with my wife is more important than learning something new, or hanging out with my kids is more important than learning something new.
Yeah, so that's always been my pet peeve. So when I was an officer in the army, we had a soldier, right? I mean, he's a great soldier. He did his job great. He scored high on PT weapons, right? But every time we said, hey, so in the army, HR is called AG, right? Adjutant General, right? And the promotion was like really high, right? And we're like, hey, you don't get a promotion, you got to do, like, you need to go train this. His training for, I don't want to go, right? Something about him, he would do, like 9 out of 5, he was great, but nothing else he would do, right? And he would always fucking complain. He was complaining, like, dude, like, we gave you all the opportunities. Like, don't be wrong. Like, you say you don't want to do the training because it's taking away from your family. You have 3 kids. You got that, man. But like, how you complaining, right? We gave you all these opportunities, right? He would get mad. How come he got opportunity? We gave it to you first. You said no. Well, it was like it drove us batshit crazy, right? Like, man, you should be promoted by now. You just have to do these extra things, right? He refused to do it, right? Refused to do it, and like he was a family guy. He loved his family. I get that, right? But any little thing extra, right? He wasn't doing right, and he would like always complain he got promoted, right? And we try to explain to him like he just didn't see a connection, right?
And so, yeah, I mean, that's what he put his value, though, in, right? His
Yeah,
value was he realized that I don't have as much time with my children or my family as
yeah,
I would like, and he thought that was more valuable.
yeah. But then he I can't remember what happened after him. When I was there with him, I think he had 10 years as an E5. Most people like make E7 in 10 years, right? So he's way behind his peers, right? But like as far as like the job and like PT weapons, he's like A+, right? Just he would not do the extra things. So like his family's more important to him, right? And we talk about, hey, like maybe you spend time with your family now, it'd be paid off later in the future, right? He's like all future, yeah.
And that's actually, time management is a skill, realizing,
Yeah. And then
uh,
again, I forgot I think he played like 2 or 3 softball teams. He always talk about, hey, my wife, we binge watch, whatever it was.
well, I mean, as an employer, you have that. It's always been that way. You've got some people that are going to clock in and they're going to clock
Yeah.
out. And
But
I don't ever, those people, I have nothing wrong with that,
yeah,
actually. But I expect just the clock in, clock out behavior.
yeah,
And they are going to be responsible for their own
yeah,
progression. And if they get upset later on that the other
that was him,
person
yeah,
that's putting in 50 hours or whatever and going to school on top of that and sacrificing, a couple 5 years or whatnot so that they can retire by the time they're 40. And then, the other guy's 65 and you're like, why? Time management.
yeah.
He
Decisions
decided,
matter, right?
he
Decisions
decided to
matter.
he decided that my time as an older person is more valuable, so I'll spend my time now to have as much time then,
Yeah.
right? So, yeah, I mean,
And I think about who knows. I talk about maybe his wife per person, right? Hey, like you need to be with me and the family, right? But I mean, who knows? Who knows the internal family dynamics that's
right,
going
and
on?
there's also cultural things. Some things, family is extremely important.
Hmm.
It's all that matters to them. So,
Yeah,
and so there is nothing more important. Money isn't more important, or career isn't more important. their family is.
So next, this is something I have no idea what this is, right? But what is a fraternal order of the Eagles? I'm completely clueless on this.
Yeah.
Explain that to us.
So it was a fraternity created by thespians here in Seattle. Thespians and musicians originally, right? Kind of like a union type thing. But the idea was everybody is equal. So for an Eagle, if the President of the United States was a member of the Eagles, when he walks into the Eagles Club, he's no more special than you are. And so the Eagles is, nowadays it's got a stigma that it's just a cheap bar to go drink at. But that's not true. The big thing is we grassrooted Social Security. That was one of the major things we did. I mean, we were the ones that got out on the streets and knocked on doors and made Social Security happen. And then Mother's Day, we invented Mother's Day, and we got the whole world to, oh yeah, this is a great concept. Like, why not? And so, Fraternal Order of the Eagles, our motto is people helping people. And I do believe mottos are important, companies or organizations or for yourself. And so, there's a lot of volunteering work. There's a lot of feeding people. There's a lot of getting Christmas to kids that would never get Christmas. And they're all kind of different. Each club will have a different focus. Like when I joined the Stanwood, and they're heavily involved in 4-H. And those kids that are in 4-H have to buy their livestock, and not everybody can afford to do that. So one of the things that all the farmers that were members of the FOE there, well, they'll just buy your livestock. Why not? Because you can. Because it's people helping people. So it transitioned from thespians and musicians to being the everyday man, rubbing shoulders with the CEO. When you walk into the Eagles, you have the same voting power as everybody else. Everything.
And this is a national organization, or like, it's global?
Yeah.
Okay. Global.
And when you walk in, everything is done by committee. Everything is done by vote. If you want to see a change, you go to the meetings, you propose the change. They'll vote on that. Then there'll be another meeting about what we actually would happen, and then the third meeting will be the vote. So it's a democratic society that focuses on helping people.
So, what's something you're proud of that's not on your resume, not on social media, like no one knows about it? What's something you're proud of that's not out there for the public that you've done in the past?
That's actually a good one. That's not on my resume.
Or like people like people at work don't know about it, like random people. Now, maybe your closest friends, maybe your closest family know about this, but no one really knows.
I did security. I helped do security at CHOP/Chaz.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I was nighttime security.
Okay.
I was actually present for, unfortunately, the shootings and the violence, watching people die.
Yeah.
But I am proud, and I wasn't there to protest.
Mm-hmm.
I went there to see what was going on, and then I saw a lack. And I'd done security work before when I was younger, security guard in Texas, and it was just like, oh, okay, they just need help with little things like making sure.
So they gave you a weapon and shit like that?
No. It was literally you just going around, and that's if there's no cops to help people, what happens when people are hurting other people? If there's.
So what's the craziest thing you've seen in that area?
Oh, I mean, the guy got shot in the neck, 10mm.
Yeah.
And we told.
I never went. Was it like a lot of drugs going on?
Yeah. So. Yeah, they got a little out of hand. I'll say they bust people there to do it, to derail it. They just told all the homeless people that, hey, there's free food and you can do whatever you want. And it was a concerted effort to just derail it. Like, it got out of hand. It got out of hand. But I also learned a lot while I was there.
Mm-hmm.
That was the third time it's been occupied. That police precinct was originally supposed to be a community center.
Mm-hmm.
The money was earmarked for it. That was a black neighborhood in Seattle. Then they said, we're not going to do that. We're actually going to turn it into a police center. And then they forced the black people out of the neighborhood, and then it became a heavily Catholic neighborhood. And then it It's just a history of this is the third time it's happened.